Alrighty, so we have the news, and it's here, and it's 3 hours, which is normal because it's a banner week. But yeah, if you're new to the channel or anything, feel free to subscribe. Let's hop into this thing. So we obviously have the brand new Halloween Merlin, who is actually going to be sharing costumes, and it's the same named Merlin as the Summer Merlin, the one that does the attack ceiling and stuff, and the Ragnarok Merlin. So if you already have those two characters and stuff, they'll share costumes with this one. So I don't know, pretty low investment unit. If you already have some of those older units, you don't have to worry about buying a whole bunch of costumes or anything like that. But realistically, I don't really think it's worth summoning, to be honest with you. I originally thought that she sounded really crazy on paper, but after watching some gameplay and there was some corrections to the way her passive actually works, I'm not 100% convinced that she's going to be super good. I have watched, of course, some actual PvP and everything with her, and the AoE is pretty cool, pretty interesting. The single target seems a little lackluster. I think single target Pierce cards have been pretty interesting over the past year or so. Really once the Demon Lord Rimuru came out, everybody was like, oh, single target Pierce card can go crazy. But he's a pretty interesting use case in general. But if you don't know what the character does, we have the Grand Cross database translations, which she is back and translating things again, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure she just has a bunch of stuff to do with school. So I think I always have a link in the description for Grand Cross database because it has all kinds of character info and stuff like that. So if you need to, go down there and check that out if you want to. But let's talk about the character a little bit. So the passive is for every unknown ally in battle, increases unknown allies' basic stats by 5%, and the hero's pierce rate by 20%. At the start of an ally's turn, if all allies in the battle are unknown for one turn only, rank up all of the hero's skills and increase the hero's pierce rate by 80% for 2 turns. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this only procs one time. And so she's going to rank up her own cards, whereas originally it seemed like the translation was leaning more towards it ranking up her whole team, maybe? I'm not 100% sure that it was like people were really thinking it was going to do that. I definitely thought that whenever she first came out, but the more that I thought about it, it would be really broken to throw this character out right now, while unknowns are, sitting at a pretty good spot in the meta. So she does rank up her own cards, which is important because the debuff that she does where it makes it to where enemies can't use single target skills is only at level 2 and 3. So you'll be able to proc that at the beginning of the match, but if you want to do it again, you'll have to draw an extra card. Luckily, it does last for 2 turns, so that's at least somewhat nice. Obviously, the same ultimate lowers HP related stats, and then she has the single target Pierce card. Not a huge fan of how the character plays altogether, because it's kind of counterintuitive if you want to use Hell, who's the newest unit on the Ragnarok/Unknown team. Disabling AoE skills is not good because that obviously means that they're not going to be able to apply a bunch of stacks on themselves, whereas it can be helpful in some ways because Tyr obviously has an insane AoE. Some of the other characters have insane AoE skills, so it has its pros and cons, I guess. It's a little weird with Hell, but it's good against other characters. Obviously, the human team is pretty relevant right now. The Sins team is pretty relevant right now. And those two teams, Lost Vein does have an AoE skill, but they're mainly relying on single target skills anyway, so it's not going to really affect those. The basic stats that you get is alright, but I don't know. We'll definitely be testing her out. We'll do some live summons and everything, so like I said, if you're new to the channel or anything, feel free to subscribe. Come by tomorrow night whenever the banner goes live, and we'll be doing some summons. So, there's also a new artifact card set for Halloween. In Knighthood Boss Battle, for every applicable ally on the battlefield, increases allies' basic stats by N%, and that is for Demons and Unknown Race. Kind of an interesting one there. I guess if you really want to min-max on your Knighthood Boss scores and everything, this might be one that you could invest into. Not really that big of a stickler for score myself. I just try to make sure that I get all the rewards, so not really sure that's something that I'm going to invest card plates into, but who knows, eventually, maybe. We do have a couple new bundles, new tickets and everything for the banner, of course, a couple of small things here for the part 2 of the Ragnarok Festival, of course, nothing insane. This equipment engraving bundle is actually pretty good, but depending on the price, might not be worth it. We also have cosmetic enhancement upgrade materials. This right here, consecutive Super Awakening option added. I don't know if I just missed it in the first one and they didn't add this to global yet or what, but I know that there was an issue or some sort of bug with it as well on the JP and KR side. So yeah, you should actually be able to use the consecutive Super Awakening option now. There was I think in this update for JP they talked about like fixing the bugs related to it, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Pop-up menu improvements. Some pop-up menus have been improved. By pressing the screen, you are able to close the menu. So some of this is like blurring together, whereas I went through it on I went through the JP patch notes, but I thought some of this stuff came in the original Ragnarok update for global as well, but I could be wrong on that. You can favorite dishes now. They also made it to where you don't have to scroll down to see lifesteal anymore, whereas you used to, if you opened up the extended stats, lifesteal would be just far enough down to where they added like a scroll option for it. So they've kind of just scrunched them back, or scrunched them a little bit more together, I think, to make it to where you don't have to scroll, which is nice. Salvage equipment option improvements. Players can now use filters to salvage equipment based on basic stats. This is actually kind of nice because I normally tend to scrap anything that's like below the 90% mark. So that's actually kind of helpful in some ways. I don't have to go into my gear, see if there's any good pieces, and then, you know, lock them and then go and, you know, just salvage the stuff. So that's actually kind of cool. Brawl match improvements. Auto refresh time reduced from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. Okay, I don't really think anybody was waiting that amount of time for it to refresh. There's a refresh button every 10 seconds. PvP improvements. Players can now view their team's equipment in Fight Festival Elite and ranking matches. So basically, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same menu that pops up like whenever you do demonic beast battles and stuff. There's like an equipment, you know, tab or like an equipment button that'll show you what sets everybody has on, and you can check your sub-slot characters as well. So this is actually kind of nice. I'm pretty happy with this. I think that that's a really nice way to just like look over everything and confirm it. Should be really good to show gear and stuff like that for videos and everything too. So I hope that they put this button on more content as well, because there's a couple of game modes where like it would be nice to just be like, hey, here's what the gear I'm using is, blah blah blah. I think that's kind of cool. Shop menu improvements for game contents that have their own exclusive shops. When pressing the enter the shop menu, a pop-up of the shop will appear instead of transferring menus. Okay, so they're just making that a little bit smoother. We do have new events. We have a set of special missions here where you're actually going to get some demonic beast materials, which is kind of nice. You get one free multi on the Merlin banner, and you get a free copy of the Halloween Deanne, who is honestly pretty useless. I mean, there might be something you can get some use out of her for. She has a pretty interesting passive. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what it is off the top of my head, but I just looked at her the other day. It is increases the damage taken by enemies that used a skill by 20% for 3 turns. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think Marilli came up with like a meme team with her at some point, so that's kind of funny, but overall, not the greatest character. You'd have to come up with some like really tanky sort of like giant team and have them attack you a whole bunch to be able to really get any use out of that. But free character's a free character. A lot of people end up skipping Halloween banners and stuff, and I would say that this one's probably worth skipping as well. So getting a character that you might not have is obviously a plus. So they are bringing back the Knighthood quest, or Knighthood, the Midnight Circus event, which is the Halloween storyline stuff. There is like a little code or something like that you need in the in this quest line, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's like 1331 or something along those lines, 1301. I can't remember, but I'm sure I'll mess around with it and probably post that if you guys need it. But I think if you actually like do the quest line and stuff, you shouldn't have too many problems finding that. You will get some Season 3 Tavern cosmetics actually for Halloween, which is kind of cool. I can't remember if we've already gotten these or not, but I want to say we have. I'm pretty sure we've gotten Season 3 Halloween cosmetics before, but either way, you get 9 diamonds here, and then you also get these Halloween gift boxes, which if you have Halloween Gila, I'm pretty sure her costume actually makes it to where you drop more of these. So, I mean, the chance to get diamonds out of these could be kind of nice. I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you, but I know that her outfit has like a costume effect that makes you drop Halloween stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's these boxes, but I could be wrong. Hawk's treasure chest is also coming back, so her treasure hunt, sorry. But this one is the one where it actually pulls up the little sort of like 1 through 6 wheel, and you can actually slow down the in-game speed by going into the menu and changing the game speed down to make sure that you hit the the ones you want a lot easier. So make sure that you're doing that. It's just a nice, easy way to get through this quest a lot faster. Some pretty decent rewards in here, of course. It looks like you're going to get a couple of pendants, which is nice. 10 gems overall once you complete all 6 floors, and then a couple of equipment enhanced stuff. So you have hammers and a couple of engraving stones, 2 of the card packs for the new set, and then you're also going to be able to fight like a Halloween Belmoth and a Halloween OG demon. You actually do get if I'm not mistaken, you get the demon mats for fighting these as well, but you're also going to drop these little like lollipop things, which you can use in the exchange shop to get any of this stuff that you want. So more of the tavern cosmetics. You get the Slater weapon and the Deanne weapon from Halloween as well. Looks like there's more pendants and everything in here. They're getting a little bit more generous with the UR pendants, which I'm very happy with. Also, you can get the Gother cosmetics if you don't have Halloween Gother stuff already through the clear count reward, so you get 5 diamonds also from that, which is nice. Here is what all of the pieces do. I don't remember what all of them do off the top of my head, because I personally like the Season 1 Tavern way more than the Season 3 Tavern, so I don't ever go to the Season 3 Tavern, but you can actually have 2 sets of tavern cosmetics active. So if you haven't been to whichever tavern you normally use, you can actually equip the tavern cosmetics for both taverns and still get the bonuses for them. So make sure you do that if you haven't. Little tip for you, I guess. Fort Solgris Part 2 is coming, so you can now get the Dog's Stones from clearing this each day, which is kind of nice. Just, you know, extra Demonic Beast mats is always great. We also have the Festival Boosting Event Part 2, so they're going to be upping the dailies to where you get extra rewards from those. So a couple extra gems per daily is always very nice. World Tree Tower Memory Fragment Reward Increase. During the event period, players can receive 5 extra memory fragments from the World Tree Tower memories regardless of stage difficulty. So that's not really a whole lot, but I mean, hey, I guess every little bit counts. They're also doing a Fight Festival event, so if you don't know, you need to win up to 15 matches per week to get all of the rewards here, and then it'll last for 2 different weeks, so you need to get 15 wins per week. And yeah, pretty standard stuff. 2 UR pendants again, which is, honestly, you're getting 4 UR pendants so far just from this update, which is kind of nice. A couple of Super Awakening coins, which is great. Some, you know, gear stuff. A couple of treasure chests for some gold. They're upping brawl boxes like they do every once in a while. Honestly, the odds of you getting some of the good stuff out of here still pretty low, but at least they get rid of some of the lesser stuff that you really don't care too much about. We do get new Halloween costumes, though. We're getting one for Hell, Tyr, and Demon King. The Demon King one is funny because obviously they did these right here. They did an Assault Mode, a Berserk Estarossa, and an Ominous Nebulae Zeldris one that were themed around the Demonic Beasts. So now we're getting a Nidhogg themed one for the Demon King. Honestly, I don't really think that it looks very good. He already has max cosmetics at this point because of the Hawk Pass one that came out. And Tyr is also in the same boat, so I really don't recommend you buy either of these sets if you've already got 5 cosmetics for each of the categories. I may end up getting the Hell one because she's missing a weapon technically, but at the same time, I don't even really think that it looks that great. I do love the little pumpkin man, to be honest, but I'm not a big fan of this like orange and red or orange and black color scheme on her. It just, I don't know, the outfit itself just looks a little mundane to me, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of potential for her to be the next Hawk Pass unit as well, so she may end up getting another set. I'm obviously not 100% sure on that. And unfortunately, these cosmetics are not going to be available for gems, which is super dumb. I don't know why they keep gatekeeping like that, but yeah, you're going to have to either buy these with real money or miss out on them, which I'm hoping that the next character for Hawk Pass is going to be Hell, so that way you guys can get a 5th weapon here, but I'm not sure that I want to spend the money on this just for a weapon, to be honest. We'll see. I'm not even really liking, you know, playing with Hell too much recently, but it might be nice to have the cosmetic, but at the same time, I don't really know. Either way. They're also bringing back the older ones for the Festival Gother and Margaret, which are both really cool. I bought both of these originally. I think they're really great looking costumes. These are also really great. The Nidhogg one's just not really it for me. We are getting the newest Hawk Pass on Global. This is the one that JP has already had. They should be getting theirs in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know 100% if these are still going to be around by the time the next Hawk Pass comes out, but They might be around on Global, which means that we might end up being able to see what the next Hawk Pass outfit is before these leave. So if it is a Hell, you might be able to not worry about buying those. But there is a new set of Liz cosmetics. These are Princess Elizabeth, like the LR Liz. So you can buy those if you need anything there. She is lacking a lot of weapons, so I mean, like, I think she has enough to fill out her whole roster, but a lot of them are like SR and SSR and stuff like that. So if you want to grab the weapon out of this, I wouldn't blame you. But the rest of the outfit, not great. I might buy the outfit itself, but that hat is atrocious. But yeah, the rest of this stuff is pretty standard for a Hawk Pass. We have one new battle event, which is a new one revolving around Easton. I really like these new ones too, because a lot of the times you can complete them all in one day. You don't have to worry about like, oh, you need to beat the last stage on this 3 times, but we only give you, you know, you have to beat these 2 stages first, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. Normally, sometimes they'll take 2 days or whatever, so these are a lot faster, a lot nicer, in my opinion. They are doing a couple of, one bug fix here, certain heroes not appearing normally in the 7 Deadly Sins draw. Oh, I think this was because Tarmiel the other day, Red Tarmiel was in the banner, and he was a giant question mark instead of showing his actual portrait. But because the new Merlin is the most active banner, the most recent banner, she is now going to be the seasonal and special hero for Heroes Arena. So tomorrow, whenever it resets, if you want to use Hell while she still has her 20% boost, and then wait for the update to come out, and then use like Merlin with her 20% boost while or on like a separate tower, you definitely could do that. That's what I'm planning on doing tomorrow anyway. But that is pretty much it for all of the patch notes for today. Honestly, not a bad little patch for a part 2. A pretty decent amount of, you know, just materials and stuff like that from these events and stuff like that in general. But the new character, maybe not super great. I do like the outfit and everything on it, but I don't really think it's worth summoning just for that outfit. If you do, I mean, don't waste your gems, but it is what it is. If you like Merlin, do whatever you want to do. Either way, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow night for some summons.